Chairman Whitbeck, I really wanted you to come on today for a couple of reasons. One, naturally, you were a big part of the Trump victory. You were very loyal to us when he became the nominee, and we appreciate that. Secondly, you're the target of these protesters in Richmond. I mean, they smashed up the Republican Party of Virginia's headquarters in Richmond. They smashed windows, stole signs, and kind of created some chaos there. And you put a statement out that I happen to think was spot on. It was very strongly worded. I was hoping you would share with our audience what happened, what your statement was, and what you think of this whole mess.
Well, as you know, there after Donald Trump was elected, there are protests going on kind of all over big cities, and Richmond had its own share of it. It wasn't a huge protest, but during the course of the protest on Wednesday night, our office was vandalized. Somebody threw a pumpkin, trashed our doorbell, tried to kick in the door. And so it wasn't a tremendous amount of damage. In fact, it was, it's probably not going to cost us very much to repair it. But, I wanted to say something about it. And, I struggled with how to react to it, because I want this country to come together. I want us to be better than we were before. And, Donald Trump has taken a tone that is very conciliatory and working together. Look, the president and he had a great meeting yesterday. I mean, that's kind of what we want at this time. But, I got to thinking, and there were really three reasons why I gave such a strongly worded statement. Essentially what I said was, the rhetoric that the Democrats have been putting out for the last several months is responsible for this. I mean, they've called us racist. They've called us sexist. They've called us a basket of deplorables. They've called us mentally ill. An elected Democrat member of the House of Delegates called Trump supporters mentally ill. I mean, everything you could possibly say. So when our candidate gets elected to the presidency, people react to that. They've been conditioned on the left to believe that we elected this horrible man, and it just isn't the case. And I was very vocal when he said things that were out of bounds, and as were many Republican leaders. But when he won the nomination, we needed to get behind him, and now that he's the president-elect, the country needs to get behind him. And I decided to put out a very aggressive statement outlining my frustration with this, and there are really three reasons for it. Number one, I can't tell you how many times I had to deal with people calling the office, emailing me, texting me, Facebook message, whatever, about their signs being defaced, vandalized, destroyed, stolen. I mean, and think about this. A person who can't knock doors because they're elderly, they take their Trump sign, they get in the car with their wife, they've been married 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, they get in their truck, they drive down to the local GOP office, and when they first get there, we have to tell them, well, we don't have a lot of signs because they're gone. I mean, they're just flying off the shelves. They finally get their sign. They put it out in their front yard. They're real proud of it. They start talking to their neighbors. They talk to the people they're talking at church about it. They're talking to their family and their friends. It's great. And then the next morning they wake up, and the thing's been stolen. Mm-hmm. Well, then they get another one, and they put it in their front yard. Okay, this one will be fine. I got it. I'm ready to go. And then somebody comes out and writes foul language on it. And then they see on their Facebook page that a big Trump train display in Virginia Beach has been vandalized 4 nights in a row. Mm-hmm. And then we see, on the Republican Facebook page or one of their friends' Facebook page that somebody defecated on a Trump sign. That happened on a daily basis all over the country, and especially in Virginia, and the media said nothing. And now, coming to the Republican headquarters trying to kick in our door and kick in our windows is the culmination of that. And somebody's got to say something. If the media's not going to cover it, I took this opportunity because we were getting coverage on the vandalism to say something about it and highlight the fact that our property, our signs, our candidates' advertising was destroyed, stolen, vandalized, everything else you could say. And we shouldn't have tolerated it.
Everybody has the right to protest. We have a First Amendment, free speech, right of assembly. Nobody has the right to break the law. This is a country of laws. And one of the issues I think that helped elect Trump was people are tired of justice of being deployed at will based on who your friends and enemies are. And so
Right.
if you destroy a sign, if you destroy property, if you're a vandal, if you're breaking windows, if you're looting, if you're stopping traffic on the interstate and causing a disruption to commerce and people trying to get home and pick their children up from various events or whatever, I mean, that is breaking the law, period. And so the problem we're getting into is there's no consequences for lawbreakers. And so, go and protest from now till the end of President-elect Trump's term. Do whatever you want. Go out every night. If that's what floats your boat, you've got a right to do that in America. I would die protecting that right, especially on Veterans Day. But you don't have a right to break the law. And so my question to you is, why aren't our law enforcement people coming out stronger and say, if we find somebody breaking the law, you will be in handcuffs and you are going to jail. And if you can't post bond, you're going to sit there because we have a rule of law.